everyone, welcome to another episode of Strong in the Saddle. I'm your host Katrina, and today I am giving you guys all of the details on what is going on here at the ranch, because if you follow my YouTube channel, which I'll have a link to my YouTube channel in the show notes, if you follow me there with my daily, semi-daily, whatever frequency vlogs, you will have heard me talk about the fact that we are moving. And yeah, I feel like instead of just giving you guys pieces here and there, I thought the podcast would be the perfect opportunity to fully explain what's going on and just share all of the exciting news. So to explain this, I think the best place to start is kind of just giving you some context of where we were at prior to this all happening and then go from there. So we live on a quarter section of land, which is 160 acres, more or less. On the north side of the quarter is the main ranch house, and that is where my father-in-law currently lives. My husband and myself, we live on the south side of the quarter on a subdivided acreage, and it's a second property on the quarter. So all of the riding arena and the barn, that is all on the north side of the quarter with the main ranch house, and that is where I keep my horses. My father-in-law isn't in the best condition in terms of his physical health, and so he came to the decision that it was time for him to move into town, which we knew that would happen at some point. We just didn't really know when. But it's gotten to a point where lots of taking care of a ranch is just way beyond what his body can handle. And so he made the decision that he needed to move into town. And he must have thought about it for a while, or just it was a quick decision. I am not sure, but he bought a house, and I was made known of this. I think it was the first Tuesday in June that he had bought a house, signed, sealed, done deal, and that he was moving into town, and that we were getting the opportunity to move into the main ranch house, and that we would be selling the house that we're currently living in. So I got news of this on, I'm pretty sure it was the first Tuesday in June. And the deal with his house in town was that he wanted the owners out of there within 30 days because he just wants it done. He wants to enjoy his new house for the summer, and just done. And that's kind of how he operates with everything. It's just bam, 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 done. Which I don't mind that at all. But in this situation, it's been a little bit overwhelming at times. So that's good and fine. We thought, okay, he will move out within 30 days, and then we can kind of take our time to move into the ranch house, maybe change a few things in it before we move in, and then we would sell this house. But there was a twist in this whole story that makes that not the case. So the people that sold their house in town to my father-in-law, they were interested in purchasing an acreage, and they were very interested in the house that I am currently living in. They came and looked at it. They were very interested. And long story short, the people that sold their house to my father-in-law in town are purchasing my house, which means that we are basically, I've been calling it musical houses or house shuffle or whatever. So my father-in-law is moving into town. The town people are moving into my house, and I'm moving into the ranch house, my father-in-law's house. So we're all just, shuffling houses. And as soon as I heard that, my first thought was, oh my gosh, that is going to be a logistical nightmare. And because like usually how it works, right? Like you buy a house, people are required to get out of it within X amount of days, and then you can move into a vacant house. But that's not the case here, because if one of our houses is vacant, that means someone is homeless. So it's kind of, the onus has kind of been on my husband and myself to move first. So that Saturday, after we found out about all of this, we started packing up our house, and anything that wasn't getting used regularly got packed up. And the ranch house next door had a vacant garage space, and there was a bit of room in a living room within the house that we could move some stuff. So we did that, and we also pitched a bunch of stuff too that we weren't using. And since then, it's kind of been, as I mentioned, my father-in-law isn't in the best physical health. So it's been a matter of my husband and I helping him pack up his house, which he's lived in for 30 years, which means there's a lot of stuff in that house, as you can imagine. And yeah, trying to get everything sorted for, lining up tradespeople to fix a few things, and getting a dumpster out here, and cleaning people and movers. And so it has been a lot in a very short period of time. Like I said, I found out about this first week in June, and it's all going to be done on the day that you are listening to this podcast. So on the day that this episode releases is the day we've all planned to move. We're all moving on the same day. So what's going to happen is the people in town, they're leaving a lot of their bigger furniture, and so they will leave that there. My father-in-law has a moving truck for first thing in the morning to move theirs. The town people, I think, are just moving themselves, and my husband and I will basically already have all of our stuff in the ranch house by the time moving day is even here. So it's been a lot. And as you can imagine, my life is it feels a little bit like it is been turned upside down. On top of that, I have been very busy at work. June 30th is a very busy deadline for me, probably the busiest outside of tax season deadlines. So I've been busy at work. My house is mostly packed up. I have my things in boxes, and it feels like things are changing minute after minute the closer we get to the actual move date. And as you can imagine, my horses have not been getting rode much at all. I rode twice this week, and yeah, they weren't great rides because my mind is going in a million directions, and I'm riding a 4-year-old who needs consistency. So it's been a lot, but at the same time, it is very, very exciting, and I need to constantly remind myself that getting the opportunity to move into the main ranch house, to run this ranch, to make it our own, it is a huge, huge opportunity, a huge blessing, and I just need to keep the long game in mind. Yes, this is stressful. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it'll be 100% worth it once we get through this. So got to keep that in mind. And yeah, I'm very excited to move to the ranch house. I am looking very much forward to having my horses in the same yard as me, being able to look out the window and see them. Yes, I live on the same piece of land as they are right now, but it'll be nice to look out a kitchen window and be able to see my horses. I'm very much looking forward to that. On top of that, the house that we're living in now, we've lived in it for just under a month short of 6 years. And we always knew at some point down the line we would be moving into the main ranch house. We just didn't know when. And since I had that in the back of my mind, this has been a house to me rather than a home. I've been reluctant to do a lot of any sort of upgrades or work to it because it never felt like my own. But now that we're moving into this ranch house, God willing, we will live there until like my father-in-law, it's time for us to move into town. Like, it is our forever home, and I'm very much looking forward to making it our home. You know, I think the house is almost 30 years old, and there's nothing really wrong with it. Like, they've maintained it well over the years, but it's just a little bit dated. So I'm really, really excited to like put my own kind of ranchy but modern farmhouse kind of twist on it. I'm really excited to see the changes we can make in that house. So if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram and YouTube, because I definitely plan on documenting that whole process of upgrading the ranch house and all of that good stuff. So that's kind of the long and short of it, I guess. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I tried to think of everything that was going on here, but that's the basic gist of this. Yeah, as I called it, what did I say? Musical houses that we're playing here. I don't think there will be any interruption to podcast episode releases. Like, this is coming out the day that we're moving. And I think, you know, by this time next week, I think we'll be settled. Me and my husband work very, very quickly. So I think we'll be more than settled by the time the next week comes around for a podcast. As far as vlogs and social media are concerned, I'm not sure how much I'll be able to keep up, especially in the days surrounding the move. It'll just make sure you're subscribed so that anytime I do post something, it will let you know. And yeah, that's kind of just wanted to give a little bit of an update, a little bit different this week, and we'll come back to some exciting content next week. So yeah, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. I'm at Strong in the Saddle wherever you can find me. And until next time, remember, it's always a good day to ride.